Would you please give me maybe 5 to 7 minutes because some very important information is coming up. You know, this has never happened in the history of the ministry in all the many years that we have been in the Omega Center International, which is about 7 years. But our 2 Warrior Fest in March are just about full. We still have room for people in number 1, the first one, but the second one is just about completely full. And here's the part that's blown my mind. We normally advertise the Prophetic Summit on television, but I don't even know if we're going to be able to put it on television as far as our advertisement because there are nearly 5,000 people registered. Never had that number before, never had it this early in history. So I hope that you, if you planned on coming, that you're coming. A lot of new people are coming. They've heard about it. They've never been. We're excited about that. We're also excited about our Tuesday night services at Omega Center International. The other night, we had 160 young people in the altar on a Tuesday night. And we've been running crowds of between 750 to 800 people. We've jumped up 200 people after the first of the year. And I want you to come and be a part of our fellowship. You don't have to join. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to do anything but come and be blessed every Tuesday night at 6:30. We also want to remind you, now this is very important, that so many people around the world are now going to Israel, it is difficult to get hotel rooms booked in advance. We have a great travel company we work with, Noseworthy Travel, that was able to get us 150 people, and that would be somewhere around 75 rooms at the hotels for our partners only tour. Now, partners, listen to me. This is not one of those things you can wait till July and August and book. We're talking in the next 60 days. Get a deposit in if you want to go with me. The other group is about 200 or so, and I'm telling you, literally, Jerusalem is packed, and the cruise ships are coming there now, and people are coming from around the world. I've never seen anything like it, but it's a tour of a lifetime. Our tour, by the way, includes tips, taxes, entrance fees, lunch. Most groups don't include lunch. 1 soft drink for lunch and dinner, baptismal robe and towel, so many things. And sometimes I will add a place I'm going to that's not on the itinerary that costs money, and the tour company pays for that. So you can't beat that. So we'd love to have you come. You can be a part of our television audience about twice a day. We do taping. Of course, if it's raining, sometimes we try to go where it's not raining, but you can get rain occasionally that time of year. This past year, weather was unbelievable. Not a cloud in the sky the entire trip. To God be the glory. 42 television programs were taped. Give me a few moments. The International Camp Meeting is still available on CD or DVD. And if you saw the excerpts on TV, those were only 21 minutes long. They were edited. You get the unedited version of things I said that I don't want on the internet or television. So don't forget, these are still available, the International Camp Meeting from the month of October. Also, even though we're not offering it on television, over half of the Old Testaments that I have printed are now gone. They've been sold, over half. So we only have half of the number we originally printed available. Partners, you have the blue cover edition available, which is genuine leather. Then we have the chestnut imitation leather. We also have that in the New Testament. And there's a special going on to get both of these. So you might want to look into that on the perrystone.org internet page. The offer for Manifest is Fishing in the Sea of Forgetfulness. Now, one of the things One of the things that has blown people's mind in this book, and when I said this, people said, not possible, Perry's preaching something wrong, but they say that without reading. It's so bad to make a comment when you've not even heard what the person's teaching. When God revokes your future forgiveness, the most explosive chapter. Now, this will blow your mind, but I can show you that when you do not forgive, you are not forgiven. That's a heavy, heavy thought. And I explore it in detail in this book, along with how Christians are guilty of being a false witness. They do it every day. They break a commandment by being a false witness. What does that mean? It means if you weren't there to see it and you talk about it, that wouldn't stand up in court. I heard. You have to see it. And so people are false witnesses. This is heavy. That's all I'm going to say. This is the heaviest book probably you'll ever read written by me. And I want you to get keys to praying for prodigal children. I'm going to teach you everything I've learned from my dad, from myself, from people who have prayed kids out of the homosexual lifestyle, kids off of drugs, off of alcohol, kids that were near death. This is a powerful teaching. I want you to get this. Please, I'm begging you. I'm imploring you. It's not that we need a gift or not that we need the fire. That's not what it's about. It's about this. I spent a lot of time with the Lord to get this to you. And so please help us. And it helps keep Manifest on the air, by the way. And I'm gonna save the best for last. Elijah and the final move of God. Now, these are audio CD messages coming out. Returning to the God of your childhood. A very powerful. Don't be childish, be childlike. There is a difference. Woo, look at this one. Pruned if you do and pruned if you don't. God says He's going to have to prune you to get fruit out of you. What does that mean? I'll talk about it. Lying coats and divine reversals. Now, these are just a few. Go to perrystone.org. Or if you get our magazine, some of this will be advertised in the magazine. Now, this is what I have waited to explain to everybody. I could have done this earlier, but I wanted to wait. This is a book that I put out. I want you to look at this. We've never put out anything this size. This is a full color book. It has full color pictures all the way through it. It has some pictures that I have never published before that have been in my personal archives over the years, okay? Now, let me talk to you about this book. We had this book printed and ready to go and advertise it in the magazine, but the printer made a mistake and the book was falling apart. We had to pull the books off. We had to get a refund from that printer, find another printer, and finally we got a printer that did it right. Now, originally there were 14,000 copies of this book. I had to reduce it because the way we did it cost more money. I only have 8,000 limited edition copies, and I'm keeping 10, so we have less than 8,000. And this is a book that tells the stories that a lot of you have never heard, and some of you that's been partners with me a long time are going to hear some things that we've never talked about. And this has, here's the vision of the World Trade Center that I saw. Look, there's so much in here. I've got a letter to my daughter. I did this. I decided to put in here the whole story on the gold horse that I went looking for in Oregon. The horse is not just a horse. I will tell you how I broke the code. I was never going to put this in print. And I said, let's just do it. I'm 60 years of age. You get to be 60, who cares? Because they were going to do another book, and I was going to use what I learned on breaking that code to go on that search when they redid another one, but they never did one as yet. But if they ever do one, you'll probably know how to solve at least half of it or most of it by this story. Let me just say this to you. This is for some special projects we're working on. This beautiful book, we're asking $100 or more donation, but you can request Now It Can Be Told. But you got to remember, I have 20,000 partners and only 8,000 copies, and my partners are already getting this. If you'd like to have this, get it, please, because I don't intend, and when I say I don't intend, I'm not saying that as a hook to try to get you to get one, but I just don't intend on reprinting this. I intend on having these limited editions, and that's it. But we're asking for a $100 donation or more, and let me just talk to you, and I'm almost finished, that the donations are very, very significant because there's things that start opening up to us that we have to do that unless we have the money in the funds, we can't do it. And we're in a situation right now with something like that. So please continue your prayers. Most of all, continue your support. And we're going to believe God for you that this will be a great year for you. Now, get to all these meetings you can. Get to the camp meetings. And again, let me just tell you what's happening. These meetings are filling up fast. I've never seen anything like it. I think we've hit the exponential curve now. And it's like all we have to do is announce we're going to do something, and people are coming. Thank you, Father, for that. That is such a blessing, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for that. Now, one more quick thing. I'm going to be a granddad again. My little granddaughter, she's pictured here. That picture, of course, is a couple months old. She's not much bigger than that. She's a tiny baby. Right there she is. Katie's pregnant again. Tiffany, our partners director, they got pregnant at the same time. I don't know what's in the water around here. Babies are coming at the same time. Both of them are girls, so they're coming in April. So I want you to pray for Katie. The baby's pretty small. They say the second one can be smaller, but she's doing good. Everything looks good. But pray for Tiffany and Katie for successful delivery of these children. And I'm telling you, we are having an absolute ball with this baby. She is a comedian already. She's a little showman. The other day, she got down at church at OCI, stood up and started running, well, not running, but wobbling across the front with her hands raised like this, praising God, just out of the clear blue. And when you guys told me that grandkids were absolutely marvelous, you were not exaggerating. So we got another baby girl coming. I told Jonathan, when is the boy coming? You got to have somebody to carry on that name, son, you know? So I don't know if they're going to continue trying, but we are in love with our grandbabies. And thank you. Let me just say this. Your prayers have really sustained me. I don't have any diseases to my knowledge except, high blood glucose. But I've had some, the old aches and pains that come when you get a little bit older. And it slowed me down physically just a bit, not much. It hadn't slowed me down up here. But please continue to pray for my strength, protection, direction from the Spirit of God. Thank you so much for your time. And don't forget, YouTube. Like our YouTube channel, because a lot of crazy stuff is about to happen. You've not even seen the vault. The vault, we've not even showed you the vault yet. We're holding that off till later. It's almost done. And we've got some great things coming up in the future. So be sure and check that out. Perry Stone Ministries Facebook page. Only one actual Facebook page that's official. It'll have the check mark on it. And stay in touch with us that way as well. God bless you. Come see us on a Tuesday night sometime.